Hi, this is Tyler Maley, your course instructor for Quantitative Reasoning Online. And this is what I call a syllabus video, and this is for spring of 2018. So this video will just introduce you to my Canvas course setup for quantitative reasoning and kind of the expectations and how to get started in the course. Right. So first of all, I don't expect any of you to be familiar with a MyMathLab online course. So first of all, I just want to show you how to log in to Canvas, which is our learning management system, and this is where you'll access all the course materials. So if you go to the MyMathLab website, you'll notice there's a link in the top right called Canvas, and you can click on this, and this will launch you into Canvas, right? So the first thing is you would just log in using your MyMathLab username and password. Right, and then you're launched into Canvas. So you're going to be looking for this course, Quantitative Reasoning Section 50, which is our online section of quantitative reasoning. If you don't see the course here, this is called your dashboard. You can change what courses show up on your dashboard. So to do this, you'll click on Courses. And I do want to point out when you click on Courses that the courses listed here on this like easy navigation menu here are the same courses that show up on your dashboard. So those will match. So to change what courses show up on your dashboard or on this nice easy access menu, if you click on all courses, then this will take you to all the courses that you're currently a part of, right? This could be from past terms and current terms. And you probably won't nearly have nearly as many as me, but you can also filter by term. So I can go to like fall of 2017, and if you want it to show up on the course menu in your dashboard, then you just need to click on the star, right? So since I clicked on the star, that course, Quantitative Reasoning Section 21 from the fall, now shows up here, right? If I want to remove that, then I just click on the orange star, make it white, and then it will be off of there, right? So I'll just go to my dashboard. So it just needs to update, and then you'll notice that it's off now, right? So that's how you can change the courses that show up there, right? Another thing I want to show you before we launch in the Canvas course is something real important, and that's for you to change your notification settings. So if you click on Account, you'll see a button Notifications. So if you click on that, this will launch you to when you'll see how you'll receive notifications about things, right? So if you have like the X's on, that means that you don't send anything, so you get no notifications, right? So there's a key at the top here of what each symbol means. So what I strongly urge you to do are these an announcement. Make sure that this has the check mark, send notification right away, because this is how I'm going to communicate with you throughout the course, right? So checking your announcements for quantitative reasoning is going to be really important, right? I won't send out emails, I'll send out announcements, and these will go to your inbox as long as you have this checked, right? That'll go to your MyMathLab email address. All right, so after you have that finished, then we'll go ahead and launch in the course. So Quantitative Reasoning Section 50, spring of 18. All right. So the first thing you launch into is the home page, and this will provide you some links to get into the Getting Started or Week 1 modules, and again, I put this here as an easy way to get into the course material in case you're not familiar with Canvas, right? So anything that looks like this is a link, and you can click on a link that will either take you to a web page, another page in Canvas, or an assignment, or maybe a outside web page, right? Or download a file. I don't think I said that. So those are clickable links, right, that you should be using. So a lot of the course content will be in modules, and you won't see all of these links. Let me go ahead and I'll go to Student View so you can see what you'll be seeing. Right. So if you click on modules, the first module that you'll see is the Getting Started agenda, and then you'll see some links for students, and I'll talk more about these in a moment. And then everything's broken into weeks, right? So I break up all my courses in a week-by-week setup. So first of all, let me go ahead and open up the Getting Started agenda. Right. So the Getting Started agenda is going to go through a lot of important documents and items to take care of at the beginning of the term. So one thing that you'll see is like the course syllabus, the syllabus addendum. You can click here to see math tutoring. And then I ask you to watch the Pearson DDA student experience video below. Right. So one thing that you probably have noticed in the class, maybe when you're checking out the course materials, is that it's included as a course fee for you to have access to the course content that's going to be built in Canvas. So your Canvas is going to be connected with MyMathLab, and that's going to contain some homework and quiz assignments. Also, you'll be able to access the course textbook all within Canvas, and that's included at a discounted rate in the course fee. So before you can have access to that, you'll have to watch this video and go through those steps and connect your Pearson and your Canvas account to start that process, right? So please watch this video and follow that, follow the procedures in there, and then you'll have access to get into the course. Let's see, let me open up the course syllabus and go over a few things in here. Right. So I'm going to expect you to read over the course syllabus, but I do want to highlight a few things in here. Big thing is my contact information and my office hours. So these are my office hours throughout the term. And if you would like to connect with me virtually through Canvas, we can do like video conferencing. I can do that during this time also, right? You just have to send me an email and I can get that set up, right? So you could connect with me during my office hours online also. So again, just send me an email if you want to do that, and we can set that up. Then there's textbook information. So the textbook we're using for this class is only offered as an ebook. You can't purchase a hard copy of the textbook, and I'll show you more about that in a moment. You'll see kind of why. Also, you will need access to Microsoft Excel in this class. And in the Getting Started agenda, I did provide you with a link on how you could download Microsoft Office 365 for free with your Marion Tech email account. So I'll point that out in a moment. So you want to make sure you have access to Excel. We're going to use that a lot in this course. Then I have some major course learning objectives, so you can read over that. So these are some major criteria that we're going to complete within the course. And then next I have the course outline. So as I mentioned before, I organize all my classes by week. So you can see like week 1, and this runs from Monday to Sunday, right? So each week is going to start on a Monday and then end on a Sunday. And then here I have listed important lecture topics for that week. And then over here, these are the assignments due from that week. And one thing you'll notice is that 114 is a Sunday, and your assignments for that week are due on the following Tuesday, the 16th at midnight, right? So I do this intentionally, so you should be able to complete all assignments by the deadline, right? So you get an entire week to absorb the content, and then I give you 2 extra days to get the assignments completed. And I give you 2 extra days intentionally in case you might have some technical difficulties or you need to get some tutoring help to complete the assignment on time, right? So don't wait until Tuesday at 10 p.m. try to do all the homework assignments, because you probably won't be successful in the course. You should be working on them and allowing time for you to get tutoring help or some help with the technology to complete the assignments, right? So it's important that you're working on the course material daily or at least every other day. Right, so you can see I have this I have week 2 and week 3 and so forth, and I put some important dates on here as well, like the campus is closed on the 15th for Martin Luther King Day, right? So you can read over that. So in the green box, I have our midterm exam posted and spring break, when the project is due and the final exam. So just kind of highlighting some of those important deadlines throughout the course, so you can read over that. So then next I have the different homework assignments. So homework will be completed in MyMathLab, and you can complete a homework assignment as many times as you want, as long as it's by the deadline. So really you should have 100% on all of your homework, and I'll show you how to access that in a moment. And then I have another thing called concept checks in the class. So the concept checks will be submitted through Canvas. So this is where you'll print out a document. You'll do some things by hand on the document, and then you can scan those and upload to Canvas, submit that way. If you don't have a scanner at home, you can also take clear pictures using your phone and insert them into a Word document and submit that way. Or there's also some scanning apps on smartphones that you can download and basically take a picture, but it converts it to a PDF file, which is typically used for a scanner, right? So there's those type of assignments. So there's going to be a homework assignment for every section in the class, and then the concept checks, there's one of those per chapter, right? So then I mentioned Excel is going to be a really powerful tool for us in this class. So you're going to have Excel assignments that you have to complete. So I'll open one of those up and give you an example. So there are directions in the Excel file that tell you what you should do in that particular assignment. And then there are quizzes. So there's going to be a chapter quiz also in MyMathLab. And notice I give you 2 attempts. So on every quiz, you'll get 2 attempts, and then I take the highest score of the 2. Right? And I do have these timed. I gave you 60 minutes for each quiz to complete, which should be plenty of time. And then lastly, we also have exams. But there is one project in this class called a linear modeling project that you'll complete. That's also completed in Canvas, and the information for that is in the on our class page. And then next are exams. So there's a midterm and a final exam in the class that you'll be taking, and those are also timed, right? And you only have 1 attempt on an exam. Right. All right. So then here's the grading scale for this class and the assignment breakdown, right? So you can see what percent each category is worth for your final grade. And then another thing I want to point out are the credit hour definition, right? So for a 3 credit hour class in a 16-week term, which this class is, for an online version, you should expect to spend 9 hours per week on the class, right? So I want to make sure I point that out so you can plan accordingly. So this should be, reading in the textbook, completing assignments, watching my lecture videos, anything to do with the class. You should expect to spend around 9 hours per week, right? And that's if you want to be successful in the class. Right. And then there are other things here that you can read over, right? And I expect you to read over the syllabus. And then next is another document called the Syllabus Addendum. You can go to that and check that out. That'll go over some more like student services that deal with academics. And then item 3 is check out math tutoring. So this will launch you to the math tutoring page. So we offer 3 different types of tutoring for math, and you can click on these links to access the schedule or go to the website that you need to access each of those things. Then I also have here some math help websites that I've found that you could check out that might help you with the content. All right. So then Then we have Math CGC, so you can launch that and access the class. And the next thing is downloading Microsoft Office. So here's that link that I talked about. You can go to that and download Microsoft Office 365 for free if you don't already have a Microsoft Office on your computer. Any version of Excel will work in the class. And then you can see item 7 and 8 here. Item 7 is a discussion board that I have for this class. So this discussion board is a place for you where you can post questions about how to access things or how to work on a particular assignment, or maybe there's one question you had trouble with. You could ask a question about that content here. And this is a place where other students can interact with you. And so if you see someone post a question in here, feel free to answer their question, and I will chime in. And if there's any incorrect answers, I can help that be on the right track. I can also answer questions on this discussion board, right? So this is meant for all of us to be able to interact with each other. And then just one thing you want to keep in mind, though, is that if you have like a personal item, you don't want to post here necessarily, because everyone is going to be able to see a post inside of here. So please, if there's anything personal, just send me an email, and I'll definitely get back with you on that, right? So an easy way to access the discussions is clicking on the discussion tab on the left, and you'll see that there are 2 discussions here, right? So there's the questions about anything, which we were just on, and then there are course introductions, which will be an assignment that you'll complete in week 1. So there's the directions for that. So the intention of this is to get you comfortable with one another, allow me to get to know you a little bit, so that way we can work together throughout this term. All right, so I went over pretty much everything on the getting started agenda, right? I went over everything on there, right? So make sure you check this out on your own. So then if we go into modules, the next thing in modules are these MyMathLab links for students. So after you have your Pearson MyMathLab account connected with Canvas, you'll be able to access the course materials through these links. So for example, if you want to complete a homework assignment, you can click on MyMathLab homework. And the homework will be here, right? So for example, the chapter 0 homework is to help you get used to MyMathLab and how to input answers. So if I click on question 1, this will launch you into the homework interface, right? You can skip around to homework questions by clicking on this down arrow in here. So there are 12 questions in this assignment. You can also click the back and forth arrows to jump around. And this will walk you through the different things in MyMathLab. But something to point out, that you can keep working on a homework assignment until you get 100%, as long as it's before the due date. So if you get a problem wrong, so for example here, I got the problem wrong on purpose, intentionally. So to get my points back, I can click on similar question, and then I could answer this correctly. And so notice now I got, for question 4, I got 1 out of 1 points, right? So I got my point back for that particular question, right? So you want to make sure, I mean, if it were me, I'd make sure I had 100% on all the homework problems, right? That'll really help your grade, right? So that's where you can access homework. You can also go in here to access your quizzes. So these will be where all the quizzes are posted. So I'll just click on Chapter 1 quiz. You can see it's time, 60 minutes, and I've used 0 out of 2 attempts so far, right? So I can click Start Test, and this will access me into the quiz. So one thing I do want to point out, so I'm just going to submit this quiz without answering anything. Because after you submit a quiz, you can click Review Test here, and you can see what the questions were and what you got wrong and so forth. So this would be really helpful with you. You know, when you go to take it again, you can try to learn and see what you missed and why you missed, and you know, you really use this as a learning experience. So you can access it that way. And then after the quiz, so maybe you want to study for exam, you can access this at any time if you click on the MyMathLab gradebook. So if I click on this, this will launch me into my MyMathLab gradebook. And notice here beside each assignment there's a review button. So I can click on that and access the particular MyMathLab assignment also through there, right? So that's a great way to review past homework or quiz problems. So the MyMathLab browser check, this link, I highly recommend that all of you run this. This will walk you through and just make sure that you have all of the have all the necessary programs for the class to run well, right? So you can see it's prompting me that I don't have Adobe Flash Player, Adobe Reader, so I can click on the install now, and that will update or download those free software that you need to run the program smoothly, right? So I would definitely check that out. And then here is the eText. So I want to make sure I go over this. So if I click on this, the Pearson eText, and then click load a new window, this is your actual textbook for the class. So this textbook's a very modern e-book, so it has a lot of clickable links. So for example, we're gonna first start out in this chapter called Introduction to Excel. So I'm not expecting you to know anything about Excel. So we're first gonna start off by teaching you some basic parts in Excel to get you comfortable with Excel, and then as we go along, we'll keep introducing new topics in Excel as we need them, right? So you can see like there's introduction to spreadsheets, built-in functions, and charts, right? So notice here on the left, this is how I can access the different chapters in the book. And if I click the arrow, I can go and click in to find each section, right? So if I want to jump to section 1.3, I can just click on this and get right there, right? And then there are different objectives in the text. So if I want to jump to objective 2, I can just click that. It'll take me right to objective 2, right? So one thing I want to point out is when I ask you to read a section, I expect you to read the text on the page, but also click on all the links, right? So like here for objective 1, there's 2 words here in these orange boxes. These are terms, right? So if I click on the term, it'll pop up with the definition, right? So that's going to be another important part of this course, is being comfortable with the terms, right? So make sure you're studying the terms and the content on the pages. And then also part of the reading the textbook is to click on the video link. So let me find one of those, like here, right? So for example, I can click on this and launch this, and this will give me additional information here, right? So this is just a 5-minute video. So again, when I ask you to read a particular section, I expect you to watch these little videos inside also. That's going to contain a lot of good content for you, right? Another thing that you'll notice is throughout the textbook, there are these spreadsheet tutorials links. So these are videos to help you with certain items in Excel. So like, let me go, I'll just pick something in chapter 2, right? So like here, notice again, there's a video button, right? So don't forget to read those. So I'm just skipping ahead, looking for those spreadsheet tutorial buttons at the bottom that I want to show you. So give me a moment as I browse and find one. All right, here's one, right? So at the bottom of this page, the spreadsheet tutorials. So these are Excel skills that were used or assumed in this section. So if you're having trouble knowing how to format things with a $sign, right? If I click on this, it will pop up the appropriate video to help you with that Excel skill, right? So these spreadsheet tutorials are going to be helpful for you as you move along also, right? So there's a lot of resources in here to learn Excel as we go along throughout the class, right? All right, so I think that's all I wanted to mention about the textbook for now, right? There's a lot of good resources in here. So like, for example, you can do a search, right? There's all kinds of items in here to check out. So let me go back to modules, right? So I went over all of these links, right? So then if we look on week 1, right, notice I have a week agenda, and then I gave this extra resource, this website that you're going to need in week 1 here, right? So if I click on week 1 agenda, you'll see that I have the course broken out in this table format. At the top, it lists the due dates, and then these are the checklists that I would like you to do for each lesson. So I give you some items to read in the eText, right, to start off with. So each column is a lesson, right? So each column has a lesson name. I tell you what to read in the textbook. I'll give you some notes and resources here. And then I have videos for you to watch. And then lastly, complete some assignments, right? So you want to make sure you're doing everything in this order, including reading the textbook. That's going to be a very important part in this class, not just because it's online, but even my on-campus classes, reading the textbook is important, because when I'm on campus, I teach the class in a flipped format, which is where students are getting exposed to the material by reading the textbook outside of class. And then when we're in class, we actually do nothing but mathematics, right? So we actually work through problems, and there are some items that I expect you to be able to do. All right, so that's what a typical weekly agenda looks like. All right. So one thing, I'm going to open up the first concept check just to show you what that looks like, right? So when I open this up, you can see that I have some information about the assignment. I put a video here on how to insert pictures into a Word document. So one note too is a lot of these, I have a lot of YouTube videos posted on the course. So if I click play, from here,
This tutorial will show you how to insert
let me mute that. So as it's playing, notice here I can click on the full screen button to be able to see the YouTube video better, or you can actually click on this YouTube logo, and it will launch the video inside of YouTube, right? So it might be a little easier. I usually go ahead and launch those into YouTube, but that's up to you. Right, and then notice here on this problem, I do have a rubric that's grading that I'll use to grade this particular assignment. But what your assignment is clicking here and downloading this file. Right. So what you'll be expected to do, see where this file went. Here it is. Sorry, I have dual monitors. It was on a different monitor here. Right, so here's the concept check 1. So what I'm expecting you to do is print this out, and then you'll be handwriting in the solutions, right, for this. And then you can scan this or take pictures, as I said before, of your finished work, and then you'll upload to Canvas, right? So there's a submit assignment button here. So then you'll click choose file, and you'll upload the particular file, right? You'll find your file, upload it, and then click submit assignment, right? And then that will go to me for grading, right? So I'm going to leave student view. So then one other item that I want to make sure I told you is I did say that I'll be communicating with you a lot through announcements in the course, right? So how you can access those is after I post one announcement, this link here will be available to you. right? So after I post an announcement, this link here will be available to you, and you can click on that, and you'll be able to see all the announcements that I've submitted throughout the course, right? So in case you missed those in email, this is just a nice place to see all of my important announcements throughout the term, right? All right, so that's all I have for this video. So don't forget to go to discussions and go to the questions about anything and post any questions that you may have, or send me an email. Thanks, and I hope everyone will be successful this term.